defense over. They actually tactically outplayed MOUZ in this round. If it weren't for the individual heroics for exertion in this round, it would have been over. All he could do is stand and fight and deliver a nice double kill out of the blue door. That's all 3 pistols in this series so far, now won by MOUZ.
Yeah, for all the good it's done them, because the problem is the rifle rounds are the one you have to really worry about. And the Outsiders, they showed, even going down 4-0 at the start of Ancient, they just did not care. They come right back, and I'm sure they have something similar in mind here. This round, though, Deagle, P250, and not that much else. So they could be a little bit dangerous, but it should be MOUZ walking away with a better feeling after this one.
Oh, but Flit could be a distraction at the very least. Torji could get his attention pulled in multiple directions. He just gets into cover before the timing just finds Flit. And now he's surely got to know, I have an escape route beneath me. Don't worry about what's up above. I've got teammates who can handle that. You don't need to overextend. And Torji's going to see another one. That's the bomb spotted as well. So MOUZ has a good idea what's going on the map.
Deagle, one bullet coming out. Not headshot, so I'm not really going to make a difference here. Kick it in James left. And again, small details, super basic, but the amount of casualties you sustain in this round if you're on the MOUZ side is going to be really important. So this round is obviously won, but it can be very painful if you keep going. Yeah, we saw that on Ancient, remember, in the round that Outsiders brought like unarmored P250s and Deagles into a round. They're able to get 3 kills in a plant. That's something that you just cannot let happen. And obviously in this round should be impossible, although Kickert's already got a 2nd kill with his P250. One more. And this round is extremely nice. You'll never expect Exertion to be in this position, though. Or will you? Yeah, Kickert somehow on a different level. Could have been interesting, but he can't find the headshot. So, second round, they have 3 people alive at the end of it. It's kind of acceptable. They can build with that. They know the AKs are coming out now, and this is where Outsiders can do some really, really deadly work. Round number 3. James going to be on that Tech 9, keeping $1,500 in the bank. Should be AK-47s and all of his teammates as well, so Jay making sure he's got enough money for an AWP moving forward. That's cash he can use if they choose or have to save in this round. That's cash he can use if someone dies, he can drop a weapon over. So James is playing the money game. Yeah, tiny optimizations for what's already a really powerful strategy they have in general. They're not really quick to rush out here towards the playground. They're happy to just spot out what's going on. Interesting Molotov. Obviously not designed that way. And in the meantime, they're going to be setting up 5 people outside of the B bomb side. And this looks like much more of a follow-through. So not like the classic rounds that we're talking about for Outsiders, which is exactly why it can be really dangerous. Yeah, no trickery here. But I mean, at least in this round, they've got the right call when you consider the defense that's positioned in bathrooms. 3 players there for MOUZ, Exertion and JDC, due to the stack on the other side of the map, playing this very passive, very deep behind the bomb site. They're going to know now. Flashes are in. They're calling it out, but this defense either holds or the round is going to be done. JDC gets blown up. The AK is there in the double entry. It's an immediate safe call for MOUZ. There's no point in showing up. That's a very, very clean round. I don't know how they knew. They showed themselves a little bit on the A side. They never even really walk up the stairwell out there. They're just throwing some nades over towards the tree, and that's about it. Could have been information gathered by a player at the B bomb site, not hearing a whole lot of aggressive presence towards any of the choke points, towards sandbags, towards Monster, and calls them over. But yeah, very clean. A lot of space for Outsiders to work with, and I mean, not even really having to execute onto the bomb site. Walking through Monster before they pull the trigger. By the time MOUZ knew what was coming, it was already too late for anyone else to react on the map. Well, they'll take it. Great beginning. Like you said, I mean, James even just upgrading to the Tech 9 just to have the money later on, but now when they actually win the round, I mean, he's going to be in such a powerful position. He can upgrade straight into the AWP. And we all know what that's like. Yeah, and he knows there's still 3 players surviving. This is going to be another buy. That's a great shot from Kicker. JDC loses his life with a flashbang to activate his teammate. Just missed the opportunity for the 1 kill that was necessary to make it all worthwhile. First gun round going the way of Outsiders. And even this one, I mean, 3 from us, 2 M4s. If MOUZ could get a couple of early kills in a round like this, then it's a little bit more even, but otherwise those AKs on the other side are going to do a lot of damage.
This time, 3-man set up at the B-bomb site, which is pretty common. Not really an overreaction to anything. That is just kind of the default. So,
but again, this kind of a setup requires you to kind of continually you're refreshing that monster smoke, right? So this is the information that is going to be given over that Outsiders kind of caught on to in the last round is, hey, there's not this refreshed monster smoke throughout the entirety of the situation. This time, Outsiders is going to realize there's a more staunch defense at B. So instead, they start probing out towards long. Fame, Norbert, and James working together to clear bathrooms. Flit's going to be in the stairs, ready to come up when his teammates are ready to help him.
Yeah, flash around the corner just to make sure. Under 50 seconds. Couple of good Molotovs still left on the MOUZ side, so that's worth taking a little peek at. If we get into the late stages where we're down under 20 seconds, some of those CT grenades become really valuable. They burn out that corner, and now we're at about 30 seconds. Outsiders looking to finally commit to this one. A little bit of a push coming through from Torshi. He wants it, but the counter flash is in. I can't believe he still got that kill. Norbert pushing through the fire, and Dexter is on the other side, ready to pick him up. And they've got this held on the other side. Fame trying to get the opening. I think if he gets that double, that is maybe the only way that Outsiders could dream of winning this round. They're still in it, though. 10 seconds, and James in a 1 versus 2, but the bomb is lost to him, and it will be the round for MOUZ. That's a huge victory.
Yeah, that really is. Nicely done. And I mean, again, you're catching that aggression from Outsiders, giving away the position of Frozen at the front of Bathrooms as he tries to fight over the fires. He's expecting the fight to come from Bathrooms, and instead it comes with a flashbang jumping through the smoke at Divider. Completely caught off as he tries to spam. Whoops. Just caught the lip.
That's unfortunate.
It happens from time to time. Excuse me, it was Torji, not Frozen.
Even at the end, I mean, that round looked dead. And Fame is fighting at long. If he gets both those kills, that's the opening. Even if at that point there would have been like 7 seconds left, they could have still made it. It's so crazy how they stay active and kind of stay viable in the round all the way to the end every single time. Awkward getting caught like that.
Well, you have the information now that Dexter is in stairs. Outsiders going to do the same thing as last round. 3 out towards long. Feel like they have some space to work with presence from Dexter already shown.
You highlighted the grenade in the last rounds when there was about 40, 50 seconds. Now, over a minute, and they have almost nothing left on the MOUZ side. So it could be a very different round for Outsiders here.
It's the tough thing of that save where James is, I mean, he's watching the flank as well to get that 3rd kill. And obviously they already had a low economy in the previous round. So, I mean, you keep whittling away at it. Outsiders is going to be playing the slow creeping style against a team that doesn't have the funds to deal with it round after round. Now you've taken over so much of the map control towards Bathrooms and long. You've shown presence. Torji's going to push forward with some courage and get information, and that's going to be so beneficial to MOUZ. This allows Dexter to be a 3rd body at the B bomb site. It allows Frozen to play back on the CT spawn stairs so that he can have a quick rotation as well.
Oh, one flashbang to set it up, and the MP9 comes in for a double, and that might be the round. Again, Outsiders are happy to call these saves when they realize they can't win it, and I think they already have. That is a very, very clean pop flash to set that one up. And to be honest, might have also been one of the few ways they could actually win the round, because Outsiders were about to show up and they would have had some grenades to throw on there. So that was perfectly timed.
Yeah, nothing to do in this round though. But that information from Torji in my mind is so critical. When he hears them clearing bathroom, hears them clearing long, and re-aggresses and says there's absolutely nothing, working up the courage and giving the information over to go for the pop flash peek through monster. Some dynamic plays from the MOUZ defense. 4-1. And a timeout is, well, I think actually a tech perhaps? Not entirely certain, but the game is paused. We'll get a little bit of a break in the action. Nicely done from Exertion and Dexter. And Dexter was that rotator. He was that 3rd guy coming over.
Even more importantly for MOUZ is keeping the economy going. I know it sounds like we're repeating ourselves, but you saw how it worked out on Ancient. Once you lose track of that on the CT side, Outsiders, they will use the fact that you don't have the grenades, that you don't have the AWP. They will adjust their strategies around it, and suddenly you have a whole new problem to deal with. So they just have to stay far away from that zone where they're going to be forced to eco. 4-1 though. It is a good start, and I feel like especially coming back after Outsiders snagging away that one round, it's got to feel really, really good for the CT side at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Especially 4 players survived. You get to build up a little bit more money. You're no longer kind of laboring for grenades. You have the upgraded M4s, a couple AK-47s that are salvaged as well. And also, I mean, adding on top of that, just the way that you kind of got worked a little bit on your CT side of Ancient previously, largely due to money issues during a certain stretch as well.
Yeah. 4-1. So far, I think both Norbert and also Flit have got 0 kills. Not really necessarily a disaster yet, but obviously Norbert was a huge part of what was going on Ancient.
Yeah, player of the map, I think you'd say.
Yeah.
He was an absolute beast.
Very impressive performance coming up from him. And James solid with the AWP. Some of these heroics that we've seen, I mean, some of the rounds even the MOUZ Sports won on Ancient were kind of down to individuals stepping up. I think Torshi had a couple of Exertion had a round. That might be some of what MOUZ Sports need to rely upon, because they do have some crazy firepower. The problem is obviously putting it to use against MOUZ Sports is very difficult, but if they can manage to unleash some of those players, that could be a real difference.
I mean, you're always going to have individual performances, I mean, throughout the tournament, but especially against a team like Outsiders, with the way they're so good at out-positioning and out-maneuvering their opponents on the map. Like, your individuals are going to be called upon to deliver something special from time to time. It's just the way it's going to work against this team. Individually, you've got to be so sharp and so focused and so prepared at any moment. Early going is nice, but Outsiders is one of those teams that can grind you down. Still a long ways to go in map number 2.
They're going to be a little bit slowed down at the start of this. Not quite the money that they would want going into this next round. And obviously no communication during the tech timeout, so just waiting for it to resume, and then hopefully we can get it back underway. MOUZ win this one, that in itself would be really interesting.
I mean, to go from winning, what, back-to-back Academy Leagues into a major grand final is such an incredibly unique story. For Outsiders, James and Kickert getting back to the major grand finals would be an incredible run, especially with all the reports. We still don't know a whole lot about how this team operates, but all reports are that James is an absolute mastermind. Talked about it by his current teammates, by his previous teammates. And everyone's got his respect for his way he thinks about the game.
He's doing interviews in English now as well.
He's getting there, yeah.
He's building up into it, which is really great. I'm super happy to hear that, because
we need to park him and Heku together to have like a good hour, 2 hour long conversation. Everyone get your questions in, pass it over to Heku, get the full translation.
Yeah, that actually would be really good content. Inferno is the 3rd map. If we can get there, MOUZ Sports, to be precise, can get us there, which is not going to be easy either for either team. So very, very curious. It's a great deciding map. We all love that.
Yeah, we do all love that. And I mean, it is a major. So we should have an Inferno decider. I don't think we've had one yet in these playoffs, but it should be a requirement.
Yeah, everyone.
At least one Inferno decider in the major playoffs.
Well, clearly a lot of discussion going on down there with the Ammons. That's a costume right there. Why haven't I ever seen you wear something like that, Jason?
That's a great question. I don't have a good answer for you. That's not really my style.
No?
No.
I feel like it could be. I feel like you could make it. And in the heat outside, I imagine that's
that's a bold thing to decide to wear. It's a beautiful day today. It was supposed to rain all weekend, I saw.
Yeah. Well,
really ruined my beach vibes.
Even the gods are so excited Furia keep going. Like, all right. 4-1, and
just to give you all a little update at home as well, it is a comms issue that we're fixing, and there's a little bit of an extended break, but we're going to get that figured out and solved and back into the action as soon as we possibly can.
We had a couple of these rounds that are about to come up on Ancient, where MOUZ actually had Outsiders sort of pushed up in a corner. If they win that one critical round, some of the money is going to be gone for Outsiders, and they can have more freedom. And those are the rounds that MOUZ Sports sort of kept, also the Outsiders kept winning. If MOUZ can win this next one, I think they're in a powerful position once again to have a great start. There we go.
I mean, there's always the question when you're up against Outsiders, they're like, how are you going to win this round, right? If you win the previous round and 3 weapons get saved.
Yeah.
Or, like, are you ever actually going to clean out Outsiders entirely if you can't get that, like,
if the round doesn't get close enough to where you can eliminate everyone from Outsiders, then you'll never get that reset, which is why so many teams have struggles playing against them, which is why they're so good at grinding you down, because they just challenge round in and round out.
No doubt that is part of the problem that they're going to be faced with. I guess we'll find out in a second. I feel like they're getting a little bit closer, hopefully, to sorting this all out. He's committed.
God bless this man. Good for you. Whole crowd behind your back. Admirable performance.
There's never no one with war drums when I'm trying to drink beer, Jason. I feel like that's, you know...
That's what you've been missing in your life?
Yeah, it gives a different vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Here we go. I feel like we've sorted it out now, so we should be
starting to see some players readying up. Oh, yep, and indeed, game and freeze time is back live. So thank you for sticking with us during the tech delay. Round number 6 coming in hot. James got an AWP, saved from the previous round. Flit and Fame with AK-47s. And right out of the tech pause, we're going to get a timeout called by Outsiders. Much like the previous map, they just want to talk things over, get on the same page.
Well, they know as much as we do that this is going to be one of those critical rounds where if you can break MOUZ here, then again, you're right back in the game, and everything that they've worked for is going to kind of get washed away.
There's no breaking MOUZ in this round, but yes, that's what Outsiders looking for in their T side, right? Just keep grinding that economy down low, keep you on the edge. Eventually, you're going to convert one and just springboard off it. And that's where Outsiders gets their most difficult to deal with, is when you have to try and regain control of your economy, regain control of your money, get your funds built back up to afford all the nades that you need to deal with this style of play. Full investment from Outsiders.
Let's see what they could do with this. A little bit of aggression for Dexter, trying to take a look and trying to find out where they are. Outsiders not in a position to go quick anywhere, but Exertion felt like he took half that battle and decided to quit halfway through. And Kicker will take advantage, and Dexter is now on this weird island. This is so risky. He could have been peaked right then and there, but he gets back around the corner.
He's even second-guessing it. It looked like he almost wanted to come back for the fight. James going to add a kill on top of it. That's an op shot through the door towards Sandbags. That's JDC trying to occupy the space left by Exertion's death. And these are the really painful rounds if you're MOUZ.
Yeah.
3 on 5, like what can you do? You could see Frozen shifting back to A. They want to get a little bit of aggressive outside of the A bomb site. But you're really gambling here. Yeah.
Yeah, you should, right? Because if they don't show up, you just save the rifles and keep going.
Trouble is, Outsiders is already setting up for this contingency as well. Like, I mean, not in the most powerful way. This is going to be a set piece onto the B bomb site. No one's going to be home, so free plant, free round for Outsiders. But Fame is already lined up.
Yep.
Back towards Picnic to be able to cut off and maybe just pick off one. Maybe you get lucky and it's 2, but grab some of those guns right at the end of the day in garbage time and make it really costly.
Yeah, any casualty right here for MOUZ is going to feel probably extra bad because you've already given up the round. You already made that decision a while ago, and now on top of that, you can't even save the rifles that at a minimum you were sort of hoping to get out of it. And they are actually going to walk away a little bit early. That's interesting. Thought they would want to do that, but there, I guess there was an AK on the ground, so they're going to pick that up. And a 4-2 scoreline. MOUZ, yeah, sensible choice once you lose those early battles. Don't quite know what happened with Exertion. They looked a little bit awkward in the middle of the fight, so could be curious to figure out exactly what was going on. But yeah, JDC, as you pointed out, trying to see if he gets some information and gets blown up. Second round of the board, though.
Second round on the board for Outsiders. That's a great kill from Kicker to open things up. James is ready and aware of the follow-up as well. Right here. JDC's just looking for information, and that's exactly what Outsiders wants to punish, is get that man advantage, get that 5-on-4, and they already know you're feeling uncomfortable due to their stylistic tendencies. They know you're going to want to find some information so you can position the defense properly, and they punish the play.
Double Molotov out there. But again, no real quick reaction coming out from Outsiders. See what Dexter could do. Flashed around, but nobody's there to get flashed. Fame's hiding behind that. And he's going to peek behind it when Dexter is out in the open. So a pretty good kill to start the round with.
I wonder if that tick was heard. Flit didn't turn his attention completely, but Torchi's going to back away regardless. 3 players at this B bomb site, a follow-up smoke in towards the monster tunnel. And Frozen's going to shift back to A, so a 2-2 split on this defense.
Very, very risky. And look at the position that Exertion is playing. For a minute, they're playing anti-flash. For as long as the smoke is up, he could do that. This position is very often good for 1 kill, but